Kinda hop noppy. Welcome back to Uncovering Your Roots with the Autonomous Party, and I'm your host, Opemiha. And again, this will be part of the Genealogy 101 series, Land and Acreage edition. So we're back into the freeafricanamericans.com website, and we're going to continue on from where we left off. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see on the screen, we have the almond family, and you can see the two different ways it's spelled, which, there's other ways. So let's go ahead and drop down here and find our first person with the acreage. Let's go down here. And it looks like we're going to be covering Thornton Almond. So let's scroll back down. And it says, he purchased 50 acres on the Mattaponi River in King William County on Canoe Creek and Satterwhite's Creek on September 2nd, 1841 for $150. And then his witness is going to be Richard Dungy signing. And then it says, and on August 1st, 1844, purchased land adjoining this of unstated acreage. Apparently the other half of the 50-acre tract he purchased in 1841. And then on March 11th, 1852, he purchased 67 acres in King William County adjoining Sterling S. Thornton for $400. All right, so let's go ahead and click past this, and we'll get into the next one. And let's see. So this may still be the same person. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay, so down here it says he left a December 9th, 1878 King William County will by which he left 25 acres called Ferry Field to his son William. He left his daughter Mary Eliza Almond 50 acres, which he purchased from S.S. Thornton. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the next area where it talks about acreage. So let's see who this is. Okay, so this looks like this is still, I just want to make sure. So it looks like we're into the Alvis family. Let me just scroll up here for a second. Yeah. Let's see. Let's just verify that it is. It looks like, yeah. So this is the Alvis family. All right, so we are on Samuel Alvis. And it says here on September 11th, 1826, he purchased 60 acres in York County for $111. So that's going to be Samuel Alvis, Alvis. All right, so let's go down to our next person. And let's see who this is. So it looks like we've gone into the Anderson family. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the Anderson family. It says the Anderson family was freed by the October 29th, 1712 will of John Fulcher in Norfolk County, Virginia. He appointed Lewis Connor executor and granted says Negro men and women and children their freedom. And it says he left them 640 acres of land on Sewell's Point in Norfolk County. All right, so that's the Anderson family. So if this is your ancestry, please do your due diligence and, dig deeper into this story and find out about this land. All right, so let's see here. All right, so this is continuing on. It says on March 20th, 1712 or 13, the Andersons exchanged with Lewis Connor the 640 acres left to them by Fulcher's will, with 300 acres of other land by a deed of confirmation which identified them by name. So Robert Richards, Maria Richards, Kate Anderson, Esther Anderson, Betty Anderson, Lewis Anderson, Sarah Anderson, it says, and our children to wit, Peter Anderson, George Anderson, Dina Anderson, Ned Anderson, Rachel Anderson, Mingo Anderson, Tony Anderson, and Susan Anderson infants. So again, there's the names. If these are your people, definitely you need to be looking into this land. All right, let's go to our next one. So again, this is the Anderson family. Let me see here. Yeah. So it's still talking about the 640 acres of land on Welsh's Creek. So it says probably in an effort to prevent their correspondence with other slaves, Fulcher's executor, Lewis Conner, by a deed dated October 20th, 1715, swapped their land in Norfolk County with 640 acres of land on Welsh's Creek in a part of Chowan County, North Carolina, which later became Martin and Washington counties. Okay, some more good information there. All right, let's go down to this one here. And let's see who this is. Okay, so we might be into, let me see here. So it looks like it's still the Anderson family. Let's see here. Let's see what this is. So this is Lewis. And yeah, it's got to be part of the Anderson family. Okay. So it says here, by this will, Catherine received 50 acres near Uraha Swamp in Northampton County, which she and Lewis sold on November 12, 1757. All right, so that sounds like that might have been his wife. Okay, so let's move on. And we're going next to George Anderson. So George Anderson, born, say, 1696, was the ancestor of the North Carolina branch of the Anderson family. On January 13, 1738, he bought 260 acres of land on the south side of Bear Swamp, where he was then living in Bertie County, North Carolina, for £2 silver money from John Bass. It says this land became part of Northampton County when it was formed in 1741. All right, and then a little bit further down, it says that George sold his 260 acres in Northampton County on March 1st, 1745, and about 1746 through 48, he was taxed on 2 tithes in Granville County, North Carolina. In the list of Jonathan White, adjacent to Lewis Anderson, he was listed with his wife and children in the 1752 list of Robert Harris. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right, let's see who we have here. This is, okay, so this is still George Anderson. It says on June 3rd, 1755, he bought 240 acres in Granville from Jonathan White. He sold 200 acres of this land to his son Jeremiah on December 22nd, 1762. And on the same day, sold 100 acres adjoining this land to Edward Bass. All right, so let's move on to the next one. See who this is. So this is Lewis Anderson. It says on August 1st, 1750, he paid George Morris £50 for 200 acres on both sides of Fishing Creek in Granville County. All right, let's move on to the next one. So here we have, let's see who this is going to be. So this is some of the same. So this is still under Lewis. It says on November 10th, 1755, Lewis Anderson, signing his wife Sarah and son Shadrick, all of Granville County, sold for 31 gallons of brandy to Jeretha Bass of Northampton County, 100 acres in Northampton County, on the north side of the Uraha Swamp, being all the land bequeathed to said Sarah Anderson by the will of her father John Bass, deceased. And then it goes on down here to say Jethro Bass was a son of Sarah, brother John Bass. On April 3rd, 1762, Lewis bought a further 96 acres on the north side of Fishing Creek in Granville County. In 1782, he was taxable in the Oxford District on 296 acres, a horse and 5 cattle. And then it says his January 20th, 1783 Granville County will was proved in May 1785. On March 10th, 1784, in confirmation of this, will, he made a deed gift to his son Lewis Anderson Jr. for 200 acres on both sides of Fishing Creek. All right. Let's see if there's anybody else on here. All right, so we read through all this, just making sure we covered everything. And let's see here. So I want to do this last one and then that'll close out. It says Shadrick, born before 1739, taxable in his father's Granville household in 1751. His father left him 100 acres, but appointed his brother Lewis Jr. as his guardian, so perhaps he was disabled. All right, so that will conclude this episode of Uncovering Your Roots, the Land and Acreage edition. Again, I'm your host, Opemiha. I appreciate you stopping by, and we will do this again on the next video. Take care. Peace.